Hi, everybody. My name is Thomas,
And my name is Jeroen.
and we are looking forward to guide you through these Reaper tutorials. Jeroen, what is Reaper?
Well, Reaper is a digital audio workstation, and it has very nice features. You can work with video as well, as we can see in the course of this tutorial. And it is quite easy to learn and quite CPU friendly to your computer. So you can have a lot of tracks and not so much CPU used. So that's one of the reasons we chose for it. So maybe you can tell a little bit about who this course is meant for, Thomas.
Actually, our basic goal is to teach Reaper to our new BA students. So it's students studying animation here at Lucerne Animation Department. So it's basically for newbies. So in fact, anybody could do those tutorials and learn Reaper with a film sound workflow by doing those tutorials. It's not for the professional because it really starts from scratch.
Okay.
But like for myself, I've learned Reaper for the past 2 months
Yeah.
before I use Pro Tools, and I actually learned a lot during the production of the tutorials. Also thanks to you, because you do it for many years already. And
You're welcome.
so why do we do these tutorials, Arun?
Well, actually, we chose Reaper over other DAWs, digital audio workstations, because it is a very open and it is very customizable. And in this customizability, we made a special configuration for a video workflow. And well, our configuration settings are sort of optimized for the way we work here at Hauselu.
So, for example,
It works with 24 frames per second. That's standard integrated in our configurations. And of course, for audio on video, the standard is like 48 kilohertz sample rate for the audio. And that's the way basically we can we make a configuration which is readily available for you to download. Also, we adapted the shortcuts. Not They're not completely standard to the way you get it if you download it from Reaper, but we optimize them a little bit to be able to have people working in Reaper and Pro Tools at the same time,
like myself.
like you.
Yeah. Yeah, I was quite happy when I found out that Reaper is capable of applying every shortcut to a different set. And so what we did when we configured the config file for you is to really check with the Pro Tools shortcuts and see which ones also made sense in Reaper.
Okay.
For me, that was a big issue when we did the switch. Was this question whether I can still have my haptics on the keyboard as I know it from my Pro Tools workflow.
You have your muscle memory.
I have my muscle memory, exactly. And I think it's also cool because maybe some students would like to switch later from Reaper to Pro
Right.
Tools, like
Yeah.
the same I did now.
Yeah.
And I think that's really an optimized workflow for both softwares.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why did you choose to make these tutorials public?
Actually, what I'm really impressed about the Reaper community is how much information is just shared for nothing. You know,
Right. Free, you mean?
yeah, the people,
Yeah.
the people they have their own workflows. For example, 10 actions in an action set, and you can just download this set and use it in your workflow.
Yeah.
So basically all the different workflows, and since it is very flexible in the way we use it, you can do the same thing on many different ways. And having this flexibility and all this knowledge that's already around in the community,
Yeah.
I really felt we should make it open to the public to promote Reaper, to promote Reaper for film workflow,
Yeah. Okay.
and to attract people maybe to learn it because they see there's also this workflow around.
There is not so much on tutorials for video, as I understand, right?
Yeah, I mean, when we did the research, we found out, and I've been watching hundreds of tutorials during the summer, and most of them are about specified action or one workflow.
Yeah.
And there's not a all-in-one course where you can learn specifically for film workflow. And
Okay,
that's
yeah.
what our goal was, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. So our goal. Who are we
Who are we?
actually?
So let me introduce Jeroen Visser. He's a lecturer here at the University of Lucerne, together with myself, and he's a very good musician. He plays the saxophone. He's on both sides of the microphone cable, so to say, because he's not only a musician, he's also composing and producing. He, for example, has very good relations to Ethiopian musicians.
True.
So he visits them for many years, and I'm looking forward to visit Ethiopia together with you once.
One day.
Really looking
Thomas,
forward.
One day. And Thomas, of course, has a 15-year experience working for film and basically in Pro Tools. And his swap from Pro Tools can't really say that. Of course, he will continue
Extension,
working.
I would say. Yeah.
Extension is a better word, yeah. to Reaper is only 2 months old, so he's quite new to it. But he was already now able to tell that the learning curve of this program is quite mellow, and which does not mean it doesn't have many features, because it does. But it is really easy to integrate them, and once you grab the concept of how Reaper works, you can apply this concept from one part to the program to the other part.
So, what is important to know about our tutorials, Jeroen?
Well, mainly we want to introduce you to a workflow which is practical for video. So it's built up for the project we will be doing in the second BA and third BA. So eventually we want you to finish a whole production
In 5.1.
in 5.1 in Reaper. And for the moment, for the first series of videos up till the third tutorial series, we will be confining ourselves to stereo, so don't worry too much about it. This will come in a later stage.
But already
And,
certain workflows are integrated in the first 3 tutorials, which
Absolutely.
help
Yeah.
to build up a 5.1 session after that.
Yep. And as Thomas already told, we have the shortcuts a little bit ported from Pro Tools as well, to make it more easy for people who have experience in Pro Tool or who want to have experience at a later stage in Pro Tool. Then the switch won't be as hard. So this is basically it.
Yeah, why do we talk about Pro Tools anyway? Pro Tools is maybe the most used DAW in film sound production.
Yes.
It's the quasi standard, but it's a bit of a dinosaur.
Yeah.
We can say that.
We can
It's
say
but still, it's a very professional and very good software. I would not want to miss it, but we have some restrictions here at the animation departments, like we will switch to Linux. And on Linux, the only DAW that is available, which has a professional attitude, is Reaper.
Actually, at the moment, yes.
Also, we found out that Pro Tools on Windows notebooks is like 50% working, 50% not working. So in the past years, since we have a lot of CGI students, we had a lot of problems with people working on Windows because it's cheaper, because it's better integrated with CG software. And that's one of the main reasons also why we switched from Pro Tools to Reaper. But still, we want to keep that path open to students who might wish to work in the audio industry. We also have a Google account set up for you. You will find the link in the descriptions of all the videos. So you can, for example, download the assets you will need for the exercises. You can download the shortcut list. You will also be able to download the config file we present you.
So let's talk about the assets a little bit. What are the assets we are working with in this tutorial?
Okay, of course we need some assets to work on, some movies, projects, and they are all based in the animation department.
Right.
The one you will be using in the first two tutorials, so 1 and 2, is a film by Anina Lanzendörfer. It's a graduation project from 2015. She did a stop motion project about the poem by Edgar Allan Poe, Spirits of the Dead.
Yeah.
And so you will listen a lot to this fantastic speaker, Trevor Rowling, who was the performing for the off voice. You will be doing some edits there. You will be able to mix with the stem files. We also provide you. That's for the first two tutorials. In tutorial 3, where it's about recording, we're gonna work with a very short, like 10-15 second project, which was done for our traditional Christmas bash.
Okay.
So for this Christmas bash, the students would from the first year would do some little animations, which are based in a Christmas ambience or something like that. And,
Nice.
And they did a very nice little project.
Oh,
You will
great.
see. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And Jeroen, how are the tutorials connected to each other?
Well, basically, we have starting with tutorial number 1. We have an exercise, and we're gonna save that as a project. And this project can be opened to take it to the next tutorial again.
So it's consecutive.
It's consecutive.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can just go to the next tutorial and save your working file, your project file, in the folder that you are actually working in. So if you take it from tutorial number 1, you go to tutorial number 2, you can take it there and store it in this folder.
Okay, cool.
So it's just going from one place to another and growing all the way along. And eventually it goes to a certain stage where you have basically a whole project file set up to work in video.
Where should I go to when I want even more information about the software?
Well, there are some very good web resources, of course. Like there is, first of all, there is Reaper.fm. And Reaper.fm is the main site. It's introduced to you in the Zero introduction.
I spent hours there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can imagine.
definitely.
Yeah,
This
there's
summer
a lot
and
of information to be
before.
found. You
Many
can find
videos.
videos.
Yeah.
There is a blog. There is also a forum, not to forget. If you want some special themes to lay out themes for the DAW, you can download them from stash.reaper.fm, which is also a nice site. They have a lot of extra plugins. If you're looking for something special, then you can just basically download them there. And I think there is what's his name again? John Tidey's website.
John Tidy.
John Tidey.
Reaper blog.
John Tidey.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He has,
Actually, what we should mention, John Tidy is the reason why we did the whole video post-production
Right.
of these tutorials in Reaper.
oh, right.
So
yeah.
everything
Yeah.
students see,
Yeah.
all
It's
the,
all made in Reaper.
it's everything in Reaper.
Yeah.
Every title, every border,
Yeah.
every zoom,
Yeah.
it's easily done in Reaper.
Yeah.
And I did quite a lot of editing
Yeah.
on the tutorials myself.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I get to know Reaper better. So it for me was a real win-win situation doing these tutorials
Yeah.
and at the same time exercising in Reaper.
Yeah.
With the same shortcuts I would use doing sound design, I did video editing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, really,
man.
really appreciate. And John Tidy has a video production course on
Yeah.
his website,
Yeah.
which I've also followed and got to know his presets and basically we worked with his presets on these tutorials. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not to mention Kenny Joya.
Kenny Joya, of course. The Reaper Mania. He has a YouTube channel called Reaper Mania, so you can check that out. His tutorials are mainly based on like how do you actually do this, and then he explains this to the extent. So you can get comfortable with that. It's really good.
Yeah. And what's last?
The last thing
The last thing.
I think we need to mention is
3, 2, 1.
read the fucking manual. Goodbye.
Bye bye.